Hello to December. We have reached the final month of the year. And fortunately for all of you, it is a great month of sports, a lot of action ahead. College football tonight, NFL this weekend, obviously the NBA and the NHL as well. Plenty to dive into, and fantasy football matchups ahead. We are going to answer your fantasy football questions, your sports betting questions, everything that you guys need to cash in on the sports day today, as well as the big sports weekend ahead. Hello, everyone, and welcome into Butt Fumble Sports. If you're new to the show, Butt Fumble Sports is a sports content company created by a sports fan for you sports fans at home. Hope you guys are with us every single day as we are live across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Hope you guys join us every single day for a lot of good sports talk, a lot of fantasy football advice, and of course, sports betting advice as well. We're going to dive into all of your questions, so make sure you throw them in the comment section no matter where you're watching. We are live across all of our platforms. Make sure you follow us on all those platforms. We're going to be giving out picks throughout the course of the show. Every time we get one of those hat mustaches on TikTok, we're going to give out a pick. Every time we hit 5,000 likes, we're going to give out a pick. We've got a lot of research to do, a lot of sports betting research to do, and of course, a lot of fantasy football advice to give out. If you ever want to reach out to us, make sure you email us, feedback@buttfumblesports.com. If you're a sports fan that wants to get into sports media, reach out to Butt Fumble Sports. We are the place. For all of you sports fans that are looking for a place to talk sports, get your fantasy football itch, maybe see what it's like to be in a sports media operation, reach out to us, buttfumblesports.com. Feedback@buttfumblesports is our email. Okay, everybody, let's get to your questions to get things started. Owen, between Singletary and Najee, I'm going to lean Singletary just barely, though it's close. Logan, would you rather have Barkley, Tyreek, and Olave, or Kamara, Keenan Allen, and Kirk rest of season? Great question. I think I'd rather have Kamara, Keenan Allen, and Kirk, but it's very close. We Dem Boys, non-PPR, bench one. I would probably bench Swift. Swift would probably be the one I'd bench. Toby, start Browns defense or Jets defense? I'll lean slightly towards the Browns. Your trash kid, pick three. Deontay Johnson, Stevenson, Evans, and Thielen. I'd go Thielen would be one. Thielen would be there. I would go Stevenson 2, and I'd go Evans 3. I'm a little worried about Deontay Johnson's status moving forward. Nuve, DK, Ford, or Achan. I'd go Achan. Mar, Zach Moss, or Mixon. I'd go Zach Moss on that one. The OG big fella. Anyway, I don't take Al Horford. 5+ threes tonight. 5+ threes? 5? The big OG fella. That's a little bit too much for me. The whole question for me is, does Joel Embiid play tonight, everybody? Joel Embiid came to the arena tonight with some illness. He wasn't feeling well. There's been a cold going around, and clearly the big fella, the reigning MVP, has caught it. So I'm going to take a quick look, actually right now. Let's see if Outlier can pull this up right now. Let's check out Joel Embiid. That's going to make a big difference for me on the stats for Al Horford. I think it makes a massive impact. Let's take a look at injuries. Joel Embiid, game time decision with that illness. Remains a game time decision. By the way, guys, one of the reasons I love Outlier, I can even get these kinds of updates. I know it's at 10:30, so it's still an earlier one, but great way for me to be able to track who's going to be in the lineup and who isn't. So, Mero too crazy for flex. Achan or Thielen? If Thielen's a full go, I'll say, if Achan's a full go, I'll say Achan, but Thielen is a good player this week. User 2731, I'd go Evan Ingram. User 2731, I'd go Evan Ingram. Flappo 328, two questions. Breece Hall, who's questionable, or Chuba Hubbard. I prefer Breece Hall as long as he does go. And then between Johnson and Otten in a half PPR, I'm going to lean towards Jawan Johnson. Jawan Johnson would be the one I'd go with. Your trash kid, I'd go Chase, I'd go Rice, and I'd go Achan. I'm a little bit worried about Reed. Nuve DK, I'd go Evan Ingram. Nuve DK, I'd go Evan Ingram. Fatfish867, start 2. I'd start Moss, and I'd start Achan just barely. Yo boy Alex wants a rant about last night's game. Cowboys looked really impressive, but let's be honest, that was a Seahawks team coming off a very bad loss at home to the 49ers. Cowboys barely squeaked out a win. Obviously, I'm still very impressed by what Dak Prescott's been doing. He deserves to be in the MVP conversation, in the top 3 for the MVP race as of right now. But I'm actually a little bit worried about the Cowboys' defense. And the reason I say that is Bland is a phenomenal player. But I compared him yesterday to Asante Samuel, and the comparison sticks. You can attack him, and he can get burned. Makes me wonder if that defense of the Cowboys can get burned in the playoffs when they face other really good competition. Richard Romero, I'd go Purdy. I'd go Purdy over Goff. Purdy over Goff. Is Connor a decent start over Aaron Jones? Yes, he is, because the matchup for Aaron Jones is not favorable. And Blood, I'd go Christian Kirk. And Blood, I'd go Christian Kirk. Aiden Thompson, Cup, Tank Dell, Hopkins or Ridley, start 3. I'd go Tank, Hopkins, and Ridley, and I'd sit Cooper Kupp, actually. Lethal Jake, Godwin, Reed, Dobbs, or Jawan Johnson in the flex. I'd go Godwin just barely, actually. Godwin would actually be the play for me, just barely. George, Tua, or CJ Stroud, very, very close. Feel like you could probably play both. I'll say CJ Stroud maybe by a hair, but I really like Tua this week. How does it look for Olave? I think it's looking good, Toby. I think it's trending up. Adrian got ways. Do you think Garrett Wilson will get me a solid 15, 20 points? No, not nearly that high. Yo boy Alex, do you think Mike McCarthy is doing a good job, or is it all Dak? Here's what I would say. I think Mike McCarthy is doing an exceptional job for the Dallas Cowboys, but Mike McCarthy does have an Achilles heel, and that is his decision making, just like we saw last night. The decision to not take the 3 points and to go for it on 4th down. You literally have a kicker who's never missed in his career. Why not just take the field goal? Second of all, why didn't you run it on the 3rd down when it was like a minute? You were under the 2-minute warning and you threw for that game-winning touchdown to CeeDee Lamb. I hated the play call. I really didn't understand why you didn't just run the ball. Make it harder for the Seahawks to come back. Mike McCarthy is a really good play caller. Let me say that again. Mike McCarthy is a really good play caller. Is he a really good head coach? No. Here's why. He makes bad decisions in critical moments that cost his team the opportunity to win. I think ultimately it's going to hurt him. Oh, 555, hard question. Moss or White? That is a hard question. I'm going to go Rachaad White. I'll go Rachaad White on that one. If you guys haven't done so, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you're following Butt Fumble Sports. Ziad, I'd go Christian Kirk. Ziad, I'd go Kirk over Downs and Hall. Trevor, Ridley or Breece Hall. Trevor, I'd go Calvin Ridley. Braden Washington, Brevin Jordan or Hunter Henry. I'd go Hunter Henry just barely. Carter, wide receivers, Kupp, Thielen, Puka, Allen, running backs. Thanks, Ranger. We'll give out a pick in a moment. Running backs, Hall, White, Connor, Achan. Who do I start? 2 of each and a flex. Of the wide receivers, I'd go Thielen and Allen. Of the running backs, I'd go White and Achan. And then for the flex out of that entire group, I'd probably lean towards James Conner, actually, out of the remaining names for the flex position. Luperio, start 2. Luperio, I'd go Gibbs and Eckler. Adrian got ways. I think I'd go Rashee Rice. Daniel Soria, I'd go Calvin Ridley, Daniel. J Dubs, I'm going to lean just slightly towards Rice over Achan. The health status, just the uncertainty there is the difference. Cookie, I'd go Ayuk over Dell, Cookie. Marcelo, I'd go Garrett Wilson over Kupp. Let's give out a pick, everybody, to say thank you to Ranger for giving us that live goal gift. First pick that we're going to give out today is going to be the Magic on the money line, everybody. The Magic have been red hot. We're taking Magic on the money line. I also took the Magic -4.5 for those who don't want the money line play that might be a bit too much fat on the bone. If you want that spread play, I took Magic -4.5. There's a couple picks out there for you. Thanks, Ranger, for the support. Do you think it's time to sell CeeDee Lamb on high for Dynasty or hold on to him? I'd hold on to him. Jets info. I wouldn't trade him now. Adrian got ways. Pacheco is a must start this week. Love Pacheco's matchup. Emmanuel Perez. Who should I start, McBride or Freiermuth? Tricky. I'm going to lean just barely towards Freiermuth, but it's close. Michael, Nico Collins, or Garrett Wilson. I'm going to go Nico Collins, but not by much. Your trash kid, pick one, Sutton, D-Hop, or Rice. I'll go with Cortland Sutton. Very close, but I'll go Sutton. Do you think last night exposed Deron Bland, or was it just one bad game? No, I think it absolutely exposed him. Look, he's a route cheater. And I don't mean that in a negative way. He's a route cheater. When he thinks that he's got a good opportunity to jump on a route to get a pick, he'll take it. It means he's susceptible to the double move. It means he's susceptible to speed because he's always looking in the backfield. Deron Bland's having a phenomenal year, certainly a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. But do I think it exposed him and how teams could attack him for the playoffs? Absolutely. Reversed. Zach Moss, Kyron Williams, or Etienne. I'd go Moss and Etienne. Moss and Etienne reversed. Throw. Lethal Jake, worried about Godwin going from full to limited and now did not practice. Lethal Jake, I had not seen that actually, so I'm glad you mentioned that. We'll have to keep our eye on Godwin. Would increase the value of Mike Evans. E. Esterson, I'd go Debo over Smith and Thielen. Debo over Smith and Thielen. Rob B, start Rice, D-Hop, Wilson, or Downs. It's between Rice and Downs for me. I like D-Hop's matchup, but Rice and Downs are going to get more targets, I believe. I'll go Rice just barely, but it's close. Noob DK, pick one for the flex. I'd go Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren. Danny 7NL. Williams, Robinson. I'd go Brian Robinson, Danny. I'd go Brian Robinson over Javonte Williams. And between Mahomes and Sam Howell, I'd go Patrick Mahomes. Clark, Puka or Chase, and Swift or Montgomery. I'd go Chase, and I'm going to lean slightly towards Montgomery. I think he's got a greater chance of getting a touchdown than Swift does. John Bills, Puka or Jameson. I will go Puka on that one. Chris, Tampa or 49ers defense. Great question. I'm going to lean slightly towards the Bucs defense. They're going to get some sacks in that game. Titans give up a lot of sacks. Aiden, Chase, Pittman, Wilson, Thielen, Rice, and Kupp. Which three should I pick this week? I'd go Pittman, I'd go Thielen, and I'm going to go Rice just barely over Chase. John Dozier, I'd go Downs over Kupp. John Dozier, Downs over Kupp. Yo, boy, Alex, what do you think about the Browns starting Joe Flacco? I think it's a statement about where the Browns are right now. Such a phenomenal defense. If they only had a good quarterback, I feel like we should have a special, just like college football has bowl games, I feel like we need a special bowl game for the New York Jets against the Cleveland Browns. Two phenomenally good defensive teams with some talent on the offensive side of the ball, lacking a quarterback. We should let those teams battle it out for the non-QB Super Bowl or something. Reversed, I'd go Kyler Murray over Sam Howell. Murray over Howell reversed. Tyler Ola, I'm going to lean slightly towards McBride over Thomas, but it's very close. And I do like Pierce over Chuba Hubbard. Troy, if Olave is healthy, should I play him over Nico Collins? Yes, I would, Troy. Chris, Tampa Bay defense, Chris. Tampa Bay defense. Ranger, Washington or Oregon tonight in Vegas. So this is a tricky one. I'll put up a pick for you, Ranger, just so you can have it up on the board. I did take Washington on this game. I didn't take them on the money line. I took them at something crazy. They're a 10-point underdog right now. I think I took them at plus 13.5 or something like that. I think this is going to be a one-score game no matter what. At worst, fine, it gets to 10 points by a late field goal to give some insurance. But frankly, I think too much hate is going on to Washington and too much love is going to Oregon. Washington, I know, won this game at home earlier. They have a lot of talent. I think Washington is being disrespected. I think Bo Nix is probably going to have a monster game. One of the reasons I'm not taking Washington outright is I am a little bit concerned that in a shootout, Bo Nix might be one extra touchdown better than Michael Penix Jr. But that said, I certainly don't think this is going to be a 2-touchdown difference. I'll take Washington to cover the 13.5. Ranger, thank you so much for the Galaxy. Great to see that come up on our screen. Really appreciate you. Let's give out another pick to say thank you to Ranger for showing us some love. This is going to be an NBA player prop bet for you guys. NBA player prop bet. We did pretty well on these yesterday. Put this one up in my Instagram story earlier. Giannis Valanciunas. And I'm taking over 2.5 assists. I showed you guys at home, this has cashed 8 out of the last 10 games. Overall, 7 of the last 10. If you exclude the Utah Jazz in that, it's cashed 7 of the last 8 games overall for him. So I'll take Giannis Valanciunas over 2.5 assists. Another pick for you guys. But we're going back to our fantasy football research right now. Dak for MVP. That's a good handle to have right now. Hollywood or Terry McLaurin. I'm going to lean towards Terry McLaurin, maybe just barely. It's close, though. Michael Shelton. I'd go Singletary over Mixon. Singletary over Mixon, Michael Shelton. Ray, Derrick Henry, Gibbs, Williams, Etienne. Choose 2 for a full PPR. Ray. I'd go Henry and Etienne. Henry and Etienne. Nicholas Polo, start 2. Ayuk, Etienne, or Pittman. Ooh, that's a tricky one. Nicholas, those are 3 players that I really like this week. But I'll go Ayuk and Etienne. Ayuk and Etienne just barely. Dilly, thank you so much for the Mr. Orange, giving us our vitamin C for the day. Appreciate that. Josh Keller, Singletary or Sutton. Ooh, 2 players I really like. But Josh, I'll lean towards Singletary maybe by a fraction of a hair. Very close. Michael A, pick 2. I'd go Waddle. Oh, you had Metcalf starting. That was a good start. I'm glad you did, because Metcalf and Waddle would be the 2 I would have recommended. Out of the remaining group, Waddle and whoever else you have. For the moment, I might lean towards Brown. Noah Brown might be the one I'd actually go with. Tyler Ola, pick 2. I'd go Eckler. And I'm going to lean just slightly, I think, towards Javonte Williams over Mixon, but it's close. Bunch of players I do not like for this week, I have to be honest with you. We are going to have a guest join us in just a couple of minutes. Our college football analyst is going to join us, Tommy Morris. He's supposed to be joining us in a little less than 10 minutes as we open up the show, bring on more guests, try to give you guys as much information as possible every day. So make sure you guys stick with us for that. Jack, I'd go Mostert over Najee, Jack. Mostert over Najee. Trenton Nice, Noah Brown, or Brian Robinson. I'd go Brian Robinson, just a safer play given the number of carries he'll get. Paging Parker, I'd go Achan over Ford. Paging Parker, I'd go Achan over Ford. High Key Kev, can you give me a player that you think's going to boom on the waiver wire this week? It's too bad Brandon Cooks would have been mentioned in that one. A player I think could boom on the waiver wire. Freiermuth could, I mean, for like a tight end, that's the problem. Like, I think Tank Bigsby and Tajee Spears are 2 backup running backs that could have good games given the matchups they have. Very tricky to think of someone on the waiver wire right now who's going to boom, because having looked at the waiver wire this week, man, slim pickings. If Demario Douglas were somehow healthy, if he clears concussion protocol, he could have a really big game. Chargers give up a ton of passing yards, and Bailey Zappian, maybe he has a good game. Those are a couple names, but again, very, very tough this week. Yeah, those are the names that kind of come to mind right now. I wish I had some more, but this isn't a week in which the waiver wire is a boom for you. Is it worth to trade Amon-Ra St. Brown and someone for Tyreek Hill? I actually think it would be. NFL guy, great to see you. Hope you're having a great game. Jaden Reed only rostered in 42% of leagues. Oh, so Jaden Reed, I think he could boom. The only concern I have about him is he's having some health issues. So the answer is yes, that's a very good play. Oh, Zach Moss. Zach Moss is actually like the number one name. I know NFL guy, you would have said that too. It's probably obvious. He's probably picked up in a lot of leagues. But Zach Moss, he absolutely could boom against the Tennessee Titans. He could have a massive game. I could see Jamison Williams having a good game against the Saints. I could see Jawan Johnson, the tight end, having a good game against the Lions. Do I think Rondale Moore could have a good game against the Steelers? Probably not, but, I'm just throwing out names at this point. Ryan, Achane or Puka? I'd go Achane. Riley, Achane or Ridley? I'd go Ridley. Jack, Purdy or Murray? I'd go Brock Purdy. How long is JT projected to be out? Right now they're saying 2 to 3 weeks, but Carter 22, I wouldn't be surprised if it's closer to a month. Tyler Ola, pick 2. I'd go... If Jerry Jeudy's healthy, I'd go Jeudy, and I'm going to lean slightly, I think, towards Hollywood Brown. Duty Tuck 00. Schultz is out this week. Should I pick up Jordan or Cade Otton? I'm probably going to lean slightly, I think, towards Cade Otton, but it's close. I think I prefer Otton, though. Depressed Bears fan, I got Bijan for Adam Thielen and Joe Mixon. Good trade? Yes, it was, depressed Bears fan. James Bidwell, Achane or Mixon? I'd go Achane. If you guys want another free pick for tonight's action, either let's get to 5,000 likes, we're almost there, or we just need another one of our live goals, that hat and mustache. Adam Katzman, could I get Mostert for Freiermuth or Taysom Hill? Probably not. Mostert's way too valuable for that, Adam. Appreciate the idea, though. I love the idea. Nick, Purdy or Trevor Lawrence? Very close. I really like them both. I'll probably lean just slightly towards Trevor Lawrence, but it's close. Olave practiced full today. Love it. I'm not worried about the concussion protocol then. John, I think he's going to be a start. Jorge Arroyo, I'd go Smith over Dell. Smith over Dell just barely, I think. Nick, do I start Purdy or Lawrence? Lawrence. Labawad, I'd go I'd go Garrett Wilson. Though I don't like any of them really. Luca, Nico or Rice? I'd go Rice, and I'd go Russ. Rice and Russ would be the two. Peter, I'd go Brian Robinson. I'd go Brian Robinson Jr. over Mixon. Jason, 760. Thanks, Ranger. We'll give out another pick in a moment. Jason, we'd go Mostert over Najee. Jason, 760. Mostert over Najee. Riley, I'd go Achane over Swift. As long as he's a full go. Plugs Burton, I'd go Jawan Johnson. I'd go Jawan Johnson. Jaynez 10. Puka or Javonte Williams? If Puka's a good enough play, a full healthy play, I might lean towards Puka actually. HT Cool, D-Hop, Wilson, Deontay, Debo. I'd go D-Hop and Debo. HT Cool would be the two. Adam Katzman, what running backs could I get for Taysom Hill or Pat Freiermuth? My running backs are Warren and Saquon. I think those are two good running backs. I know Saquon's on the bye, so you'd have to find someone else. But frankly, I don't know who you could get because you're not giving up good value. Taysom Hill and Pat Freiermuth are not good value in a trade for a running back. So Adam, either you need to give up more or you need to get creative about who you'd be willing to take. Dilly, no need to spam, Dilly. No need to spam. Don't be doing that. Bucks or Jets defense? I'm going to lean just slightly towards the Bucks. Kate, Pacheco or Warren? Kate, I really like them both. Wish you could start both. I'll lean towards Pacheco because Warren splits touches with Najee, but I really wish, Kate, you could get both in your lineup. Yo boy Alex, I give McCaffrey and Kupp for Pollard, Kelsey, and Flowers. Love it. Love it, yo boy Alex. Love it. Nick, Najee or Warren? I'd go Jalen Warren. He's number one on the depth chart. Josh sometimes, Kupp, Puka, Rashee Rice. Terrible choices, but pick one. I'd go Rashee Rice. Josh sometimes, I'd go Rashee Rice. Colton, I do think Freiermuth is worth a start this week. Heat for your feet. Taysom Hill, a boom this week. He has the capability of being. I don't want to necessarily predict that. I don't love it. The matchup against the Lions is a bit tricky. because they're a good run defense, but he has that potential, sure. Brett, Gibbs, Ridley, or Ayuk. Brett, I'm going to go with Brandon Ayuk, just barely over Ridley. I'm going to go Brandon Ayuk, actually. Depressed Bears fan, Joe Mixon or Adam Thielen in the flex. I'd go Adam Thielen. Cody Duet, I'd go Zach Moss. I really like George Kittle, but Zach Moss would be the play for me, just given the number of carries he'll get versus targets Kittle will get. Jason 760, I'd go Rice. Antcan 111, I'm going to go Etienne over Eckler. Etienne over Eckler, Antcan 111. We've got another pick to give out, guys. Let's go back to our board and give out a couple picks. I'm going to take the Celtics on the money line tonight, guys. Celtics hosting the 76ers on ESPN. Should be a great game. I'm taking Celtics to get the win. Season series right now is 1-1. I think Celtics get this dub tonight. Jack Stevens, pick 2. I'd go Derrick Henry and Pickens. Derrick Henry and Pickens, Jack Stevens. Kyron Williams, Kamara, or Gibbs. Wow, really tricky. I'm gonna say Kyron Williams. XVII Gangland. I'd go Kyron Williams just barely over those two, who both have tough matchups against run defenses. Nirvan, the Indian Baller. I'd go Evan Ingram. Nirvan, the Indian Baller. I'd go Evan Ingram. B. Wheezy, Derrick Henry or Swift. In a must-win, Derrick Henry. Phenomenal matchup this week against the Colts. Love Derrick Henry. Mick, I'd go Moss over Mixon. Moss over Mixon. Any update on Keenan Allen? Nope, still waiting to hear word, yo boy Alex. I'm hoping he's going to play because obviously for fantasy owners, he could have a very big week. We're keeping our eye on Keenan Allen's health. AJ Scarpa, need a great parlay for tonight. AJ, make sure you DM me on Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. Every one of my bets is available on the SHARPZ app. If you don't want to wait around for us to give out picks one by one throughout the show, DM me on Instagram. I'll give you a link and a referral code for the SHARPZ app. It's free. You don't have to pay a cent to get my picks. You just put in the link, put in the referral code, and go to my profile. You'll see every bet that I made for today, this weekend, my NFL picks. They're all there. I've already put in some player prop bets and game picks for NFL Week 13. We did cash on the Cowboys and Cowboys minus 5.5. So, guys, make sure you guys are hitting me up to get that link and referral code. Tommy, if you're watching, hit me up to become a guest and we'll let you into the show. Tommy, if you're watching, hit me up to be a guest and we'll let you join the show. Saul, thanks so much for the hat and the mustache. Let's give out another pick while we wait for Tommy to join us. Player prop bet coming your way, guys. Next player prop bet I'm going to take is going to be Cole Anthony over 4.5 assists tonight. That's Cole Anthony over 4.5 assists. Tommy Morris, if you're watching the show, hit me up as the guest. Oh, he's got to update the app. Okay. Jacob Duffy, I'd go Warren. Jacob Duffy, I'd go Warren. Peyton, I'd go Debo. Peyton, I'd go Debo. Carman 18, start 2, wide receiver and a flex. So 2 wide receivers and a flex. Okay. I'd go, tough because the 2 running backs I like the most. I'd start Mostert at the flex. Too bad because I like Singletary as well. At the wide receiver position, I'd go Chase and McLaurin, I think. Chase and McLaurin, I actually think would be the 2. By the way, Peyton, you don't need to spam, guys. You don't need to spam. We get to your questions. Defamatory pig on. Who should I start in flex? Rice, Ford, Dortch? I'd go Rice. Rashee Rice. And of the 2 quarterbacks, I'm going to go Russell Wilson. Mike, I'm going to go Achan. Mike, I'd go Achan. And 203, I'm going to go Moss just barely. I think I like Olave a lot, but the injury, a little bit of concern there. I might lean towards Moss just barely. Blake, Scary Terrier, Josh Downs. I'll go Josh Downs. Caddy Daddy, what was the pick we just put up on our board? It was Cole Anthony, point guard of the Magic. Cole Anthony over 4.5 assists. We have given out 6 picks so far during the show. Magic on the money line. Magic minus 4.5. Celtics on the money line. Jonas Valanciunas over 2.5 assists. Cole Anthony over 4.5 assists. And Washington Huskies plus 13.5. I'm going to give out another pick for you guys to say thank you for getting us up to 5,000 likes. Next pick, there are only 2 hockey games tonight. I'll give out the only hockey pick that I'm going to give out this evening. Devils on the money line, guys. Devils on the money line. It's going to be the only NHL pick we give out. Not a lot of NHL action on the docket. Again, if you want every bet that I make every day, DM us on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. DM us to get every bet for free. All you have to do is hit me up on Instagram to get a link and referral code to the SHARPZ app so you can tail, fade, follow, do whatever you want, but you see every bet that I make every day. Waves for life. Achan or Ramondre Stevenson? I'll go Achan just barely. NFL guy's giving out some advice. Cooper Boom, start 3. I'd go Warren, Moss, and I'd go Ford. Warren, Moss, and Ford I think would be the 3. And then between the Steelers or the Chargers, I'll lean just barely towards the Chargers. Patriots are god-awful. Dak for MVP, I'd go Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry. Emmanuel Perez, if I had to sit one, I'd probably sit Chase. Ant 203, I'd go Bijan. Ant 203, I'd go Bijan. Drew, who should I use as my wide receiver 2 this week? I'd go Thielen. I think, just barely over Collins. Is McCaffrey over 1.5 touchdowns a good play? Yo, boy, Alex, not this week. I don't expect him to have a good game on the ground against the Eagles. So, unless he's getting receiving touchdowns, I only think he could get 1. Brody, I'd go Mostert over Monty. Mostert over Montgomery, Brody. B. Weezy, sit 1. I would probably sit Swift. Peter, I'd go Nico Collins, Peter. JRF. Falcons or characters? Whose characters? Do you mean Commanders? I'd probably take the Falcons. I don't know who characters are. Plugs Burton, I'd go Cortland Sutton. Plugs Burton, I'll go Cortland Sutton just barely. User 3786, I'd go Sutton and D-Hop. I do like both, Sutton and D-Hop. Derek Kraft, ETN playing, still waiting on word. Can Tommy Morris not join? Tommy, I don't see you as a viewer, so I can't add you to join. Tom, I don't know what to do, man. Might have to regroup on this one. Thought you'd be able to join. Melvin, Herbert or Trevor Lawrence? Melvin, I'd go Trevor Lawrence. Because I could see other people who can join the show. Ranger, Cody, Dino Mite, Lethal Jake, Saul, Sandsifter, Warren Hackler, Randy Stacy, NFL guy. Like, all these people can join the show. I don't know why you can't, Tommy. Nick, feeling a start? Yes, he is. Row ham and cheese, I'd go Rice. Mahomes or Lawrence? I'd go Trevor Lawrence just barely. Andre, TMC, Elijah Moore if Amari Cooper doesn't play, or Mingo. I'd go Jonathan Mingo, actually. Jonathan Mingo. Sol Rosa, start 3. Dell, Ayuk, Devontae, Flowers, or D-Hop. I'd go... Flowers isn't playing, so Sol Rosa, you don't have to worry about that. I'd go Ayuk, D-Hop, and I'm going to lean just slightly towards Smith. Ayuk, Smith, and D-Hop. Drew, I was able to trade my way to having Bijan, Etienne, and Pollard. How should I feel with those 3 into the last few weeks? I really like having them. Great group. Love it. Drop McPherson for Matt Gay. Not a terrible idea, actually. I kind of like it, BTT student. Big offer. As many as 6 prospects being offered by the Yankees for Juan Soto. That's some news out of MLB world. Apparently, the Yankees making a big push for Juan Soto. STLVO 7. I'd go Hurts over Stroud. Hurts over Stroud just barely. JRF, I'd go Chargers. JRF, I'm going to go Chargers. Ranger, does he have... Ranger, do you need 1,000 followers to go live? I didn't know that. Tommy Morris, what's your handle? Let's see if we can get you 1,000 followers, and then we can get you to join. So it takes 1,000 followers to be able to join a live. Gotcha. Ranger, giving out good information. Looks like you got some work to do, Tommy. Row ham and cheese, I'd go Warren. Row ham and cheese, I'd go Warren. Angel Solis, I'd go Cortland Sutton. Angel, I'd go Cortland Sutton. NFL guy, yeah, you need to have 1,000. Love it. NFL guy, you want to come up and join the show? You've got 1,000. We'll let you join. High key Kev. Let's see. Does NFL... Oh, I just screwed up. Hold on, NFL guy. I got to pause and I got to reset. Oh, someone wants to join the show. We'll add a guest on. What's happening, man? How you doing this evening?
All right, how are you?
Oh, just fine. What can we do for you?
All right, so I just recently made a trade. I got in a quarterback in my league. I traded up Trevor Lawrence and DeAndre Hopkins, and he gave me Deebo Samuel.
Wait. You gave up Lawrence and Hopkins, and you got back Deebo Samuel?
Yes.
That's the entirety of the trade?
Yes, but I already have Mahomes. That's why I was willing to give up Lawrence.
Love it. Now, what I would say is don't freak out. Both D-Hop and Trevor Lawrence are going to have a good week this week. So when it happens, you just be aware of it. But would I rather have Deebo Samuel down the stretch at the wide receiver position over Hopkins? Absolutely. I think you upgraded at wide receiver, and you're going to start Patrick Mahomes the rest of December. That's just going to happen.
I'm never going to have the guts to bench Patrick.
That's right. And by the way, nor should you. He's one of those players that, especially when it hits December, which it now is, just lock him in. So I actually think it is a good trade. You gave up good value. If you had said you got the other side of the deal, I'd go, that's not bad. But which player would I like to own out of all three? Deebo Samuel. Nice job, man.
Right, I appreciate that.
That all we got for you?
Yeah, just I don't take up too much time, but in my lineup, right now I have Christian Kirk as my receiver 1, receiver 2.
Can you repeat that? When you move away from the TikTok app, you mute yourself, so I didn't hear both names.
Yeah, at receiver 1 and 2, I have Christian Kirk because he's just been my most consistent
Yep.
receiver. And then I have Deebo in 1 and 2, whichever you want to say it.
Love it.
And my flex are currently, I've been starting Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley some weeks. But would you start Calvin Ridley this week, or would you start Marquise Brown?
So, first of all, I feel even better about the trade you made because you are way too loaded on the Jaguars offense. If you've already got Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk, you really don't need Trevor Lawrence. So moving him and D-Hop for Deebo, bravo. That was what you were supposed to do.
And I got him on waivers. Somebody cut him, and I picked him up.
Brilliant. Great job by you. As for Ridley and Kirk this week, I would rather have the two of them start. They've got a great matchup against the Bengals on Monday night. And Hollywood Brown could have a good game, but frankly, the matchup against the Steelers is a little bit tricky. I think he'll be targeted, but does he get the touchdown he needs to get you enough points? I think I'd start the duo in Jacksonville and just take the risk that, yes, they're going to kind of cannibalize each other's value, but against the Bengals, they should put up a lot of points.
Got you. I appreciate that. Thanks for your help. I'll never take that into consideration.
Wonderful. Appreciate you watching the show, man.
Of course.
So if you guys want to join the show, feel free to do so. Happy to have you guys on as a guest. Unless we just froze. Feel like we froze. There we go. If you guys want to ask a question, feel free to come on as a guest. Willing to let you guys do that. Choose two: Garrett Wilson, Deontay Johnson, Sutton, or D-Hop. I'd go Sutton and D-Hop. Sutton and D-Hop would be the two. Ethan, Tank Dell, or Kyron. I'm going to lean just slightly towards I'd rather have Tank Dell down the home stretch. Getting another guest on here if you guys want to join the show. Athria, did I get that name right? Oh, he's already offline. Oops, lost him. Jordan, I'd go Henry and Henry, Moss, and Singletary. If you need three, Jordan, Henry, Moss, and Singletary. BTT student need to pick up a defense. I'd pick up the Jags. I'd go Jaguars defense probably. Jags or Bucks. CL, I'd go, tough. I'm going Mostert as well. I like Warren, but I'd go Mostert. Texas Tejano, need two. Etienne, Bijan. Etienne and Bijan, Texas Tejano. Those would be the two. If any of you guys want to join the show, more than happy to have guests on. I've already let 2 people on. Once again, made that mistake. I love this wallpaper background like half the time, but then if I accidentally hit the wrong part of the screen, it goes nutty. Okay. J-Dubs, sit one, I'd sit Nico Collins. J-Dubs, I'd sit Nico. What defense should I start? I'd start the Chargers. Emmanuel, I'd start the Chargers. Oscar Meyer, I'm going to lean just slightly towards Brian Robinson. Oscar Meyer, Brian Robinson. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you follow Butt Fumble Sports. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. We will have a subscriber-only show later tonight, so make sure you subscribe, and that way you can join that show around 10:30 tonight. BTT student, I'd go Mostert and Henry. Mostert and Henry. Freiermuth or Logan Thomas, very close. I'll go Freiermuth just barely, but very close between the two. Great 437, I'd go Watson. Great 437, I'd go Watson. Yeah, Reddy, sorry you didn't join the show, but I'd go D-Hop and Sutton. D-Hop and Sutton. Logan, I'd go Singletary and D-Hop. Logan Gildia, I'd go D-Hop and Singletary. Butchered that clearly. Tweety Bird, I'd go Downs. Tweety Bird, I'd go Downs. Oscar Meyer, I'd go Achan. Oscar Meyer, I'd go Achan. Carpet Man, 49ers. I'm going to lean slightly towards Herbert, just barely. If any of you guys want to ask your question live on the show, hit me up as a guest. More than happy to have you guys on as a guest. Cole Owens, Devon Achan, Nico Collins, or Cooper Kupp. I have Waddle, Ayuk, Kyron, and Bijan as starts already. I'm going to lean towards Achan just barely as the other start, Cole. Alex Ruiz, I'd say Ford. Alex Ruiz, I'd go Ford. Nash, I'll go Deontay Johnson. Just make sure he's a healthy start. A little bit of concern about his health. Toke, I'd go... Toke, I'll go Rams defense. I don't feel great about it. You don't know what you're getting with Joe Flacco, but... Oscar Meyer, I'd go Achan. Want to join the show as a guest? Hit us up. We'll let you come on the air and ask your question. Leighton, I'd go Najee. Leighton, I'd go Najee. Ramses, Reyes, Ramirez, I'd go Hopkins. Hopkins over Ford and Mixon. Jason, 760, I'm going to go Cortland Sutton. Ranger, thanks so much. Appreciate you, Ranger. Texas Tejano, Mr. Pibb or Big Red, gotta go Mr. Pibb. You know how I feel about that Texas Tejano. You already know I'm a big Mr. Pibb fan. Antonio, thanks so much, Ranger. Appreciate you, buddy. Antonio, Gibbs or Kyron? I'd lean slightly towards Kyron, I think. Thanks so much, Ranger. Appreciate you. Love the love. We got a guest on the air. Let's get him on. Another guest joining the show. Hey, how you doing this evening? Oh, just fine, thanks. What can we do for you? I do think he's going to play. He's been trending up. He practiced today. I don't only think he's going to play. I think he's a great start. Must be in your lineup. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching the show. That's as easy as it gets, guys. If you guys want to ask your question, more than happy to let you guys come on. Treat it like a radio show. You ask your question, we'll let you come on for a few seconds. So feel free, guys. Jump on if you'd like. WRBJ7. I'm taking Washington to cover. When it comes to the money line, don't feel so good. Let's get Yusuf up here. Yusuf's a great loyal subscriber. Yusuf, how you doing this evening? Oh, just wonderful. I hope I've been pronouncing your name right this whole time. Oh, appreciate you. How can I be of service?
I guess I had a tricky scenario where, like, Tank Dell right now is questionable. I'm hoping he plays. It looks like he had like a minor calf injury, but it looks like he's going to play. And that's my wide receiver 1 right now, just because Justin Jefferson's out.
Yep.
And then at wide receiver 2, and then at my flex, that's where I'm having the dilemma. And I think you had
tough because he's a wide receiver 3 going up against a good defense. Like, by the way, on one hand, it was like I hated Lockett. So if you had said like between Lockett and JSN, I would have been like, oh, I'd go JSN, funny enough. But if you had said those other names, hard for me to go JSN. So I know it looks bad in the light of day on Friday, but don't beat yourself up too much. I believe the two that I had said before were Jerry Jeudy and Romeo Doubs. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, you did actually, and I guess it's hard because of the reputation Jerry Jeudy is like just getting roasted on social media, I guess. But I think you are right that Jerry Jeudy has a good matchup.
The reason I like it now, the problem is Jerry Judy's got a health issue of his own. You know, we'll see if that plays a factor at all. But the reason I like Jerry Jeudy is the Texans are a better run defense than they are a pass defense. And I think Russell Wilson, I think this is going to be CJ Stroud versus Russell Wilson kind of game. And so I like Cortland Sutton a lot, and I just like the speed that Jerry Jeudy presents. So I understand it's a risk, but Curtis Samuel, I feel like you're really banking on a touchdown because other than that, he doesn't get a lot of yards between the 20s. Like, he may get a target or two, but they almost use him as a jet sweep kind of option. When Jerry Jeudy is at least targeted, it's down the field. So he really needs to make 1 or 2 catches, and it's almost worth it. Where Curtis Samuel, you're asking for a touchdown. That's kind of where I split that. The Romeo Doubs, I don't love the matchup there, to be honest. Like, Chiefs are a tough matchup. But Jaden Reed is banged up. Maybe that limits him enough to, like, Romeo Doubs gets more targets. I think I like Doubs over Christian Watson, frankly, at this point in terms of overall targets as well. So I stand by what I said the other night. I think Tank Dell will play, so I think you'll at least have him to fall back on. But Yusuf, this is one of those weeks you might have to hold your nose and just swallow because this isn't going to be a fun one, I assure you.
I know it's tough because it's like there's a 3-way tie right now and 6 wins like in the playoffs. So I'm just hoping I can try and pull off a win this week, and then maybe JJ comes back next week. But no, I really appreciate that answer because I did not realize like how Curtis Samuel gets those targets versus Judy. So that type of insight I really appreciate.
When you think about Curtis Samuel, like every once in a while he'll run that slant route that might get him some options, but he's almost used in kind of like a Sky Moore kind of way. If you think about like the Chiefs, where he's listed as a wide receiver, but they use him in a lot of different packages, where Jerry Jeudy, he's a wide receiver too. Like, they're going to stick him on the outside. He'll run the streak route. He'll run slant routes. He'll run crossing routes. He's the one who's far more involved in what we would call like a normal offense. I'm not saying that should give you more confidence. It really, to more is like, if both of them get 2 catches, who's going to be down the field more, who's more likely to be down the field for those 2 catches? You got to go Jeudy. So that's where I come out on it.
Oh, awesome. Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you for answering that question. I'm hoping for the best, and I know it's tough because with having so many mid-tier guys, it's like you're banking on like those matchups and little things. So yeah, just really hope Judy and I think you said Dobbs would be the best flex.
Yep, those would be the 2 I'd go with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it, and you're right. I'm honestly, that's kind of, they're all projected pretty equally. So, and then I was looking at Prize Picks just to try and compare it, and yeah, you're kind of right where the over/under is higher with Judy. So
Now, maybe that reflects that I have the thinking of a sports book, and therefore it's a trap, but I give you the best advice I can based on the data I have access to.
Vegas knows something. I mean, not just knows something, but they have analytic experts. There's people looking at data like you. So, I mean, I'd rather trust someone that's looking at data than just trust like Madden ratings, for example. So,
Oh, I certainly wouldn't trust Madden ratings. I don't trust Calvin Johnson or Ocho Cinco that much.
right, that's true. So,
Yusuf, really appreciate your support of the show.
you as well. Take care.
Have a great night. If you guys want to join the show just like Yusuf, feel free to hit me up. We're letting guests come on to ask some questions. Kind of a different format, but trying to get people engaged with the show in as many ways as possible. Toby, I'd go Rice over Dell for the moment. Angelo, I'd go Trevor Lawrence just barely over Stroud. Jorge, start 2. I'd go Moss and Montgomery. I don't know about Jones's health yet. Jessica Gray, trade Kamara, Jamar Chase, and Kirk for Barkley, Hill, and Olave. I'd be okay with it, Jessica Gray. I would be okay with it. Love it? No, but I'd be okay with it. I told you about Kyron, man. You didn't believe. Ibrahim, I love it, man. Kyron Williams last week, we said he was going to have a big game. So if that's what you meant, I told you, I thought he was going to have a big game, but you nailed it. You said he was going to have a massive one. Ethan, I'd go Thielen. Ethan, I'd go Thielen. If you guys want to join the show, hit me up. You can become a guest on the show. Owen, pick 2. I'd go Henry and Bijan. Owen, Henry, and Bijan would be the 2. Gus, I'm going to go Warren just barely over Moss, but it's close. John, any tight ends on the waiver wire if McBride doesn't play? Jawan Johnson of the New Orleans Saints is one I'd consider. I'd also look at Freiermuth if he's available out there. Taken. Cancel Hall or Warren. Cancel. I'd go Jalen Warren. Riley, do you think Tank Dell will play? I do think he will. Vin Fetty, I'd go Pacheco. I love Pacheco this week. Pacheco's one of my favorite running backs. Chris Gould, I'm going to lean just slightly, I think, towards the Jags. Just barely. Do I mean that? No. I take Rams. Chris Gould, I take the Rams. I'll go up against Joe Flacco instead. And 203, I'd go Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk. Dot, Zach Moss or Rashad White. I'd go Rashad White, believe it or not. I think he actually has the better matchup. Let's get Case back up here. Case Davis has another question. Let's see if he's got another one for us. Let's get him up here. What's good?
Yeah, sorry, man. One more question. I'm starting Mostert no matter what. I got A-Chain and T-Mac, and I'm a diehard Fins fan, man. So should I start A-Chain with Mostert in, or should I go with T-Mac?
Sorry, T-Mac?
Terry McLaurin.
Oh, okay. Personally, I'd rather go with Achan, and here's why. One, I usually lean towards running back a little bit more than wide receivers. When you just think of carries versus targets, like that's not even talking about receptions. Like a good wide receiver gets what, like 15 targets in a game? Really, most wide receivers get closer to like 8 to 10 at most. So you think Achan's probably going to have more overall carries. So if any of those carries are in the red zone, love it. Given Achan's speed, any one of them can turn into a 20-yard run. Love that. And I do think that they're going to kind of balance things out between Mostert and Achan. As a Fins fan, you know that really well. Now, I love starting both of them because you have good red zone coverage if they do pull one out. Let's just hope Jeff Wilson Jr. decides to sit on the bench all day. But I'd rather go with Achan because you're a Fins fan, you'll have your ear close to the grindstone on this. Just make sure he's a full go. With the way his knee acted up in that game a couple weeks ago, are the Dolphins going to be overly cautious? I don't think so. I think they're going to give him the green light, but just, listen to Jay Glazer and the other reports on Sunday morning just to make sure there isn't some funny business that comes about.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about with A-Chain. I don't know if he's going to be a full go or not.
The reason I'm more confident in it is from reports, he could have entered back into that game. The leadership of the team actually sat him out. It wasn't that doctors or Achan couldn't come back. It's that they were just overly cautious. That gives me a little bit of hope. Combine that with some extra days off. I'm going to say he'll be okay and on the field. It is supposed to be a bit of a rainy day, so maybe that concerns you. But if he's playing, he's playing, weather regardless, so. He took himself out. Oh, interesting. I thought it was McDaniel was like, no, we don't need to risk it. So I thought it was the other way.
No, he told Coach that I'm just not going to play the rest of the game.
Oh, wow. Don't like hearing that. Okay, clearly what I had read was a different kind of report. That makes me a little bit concerned because, like, if he doesn't have the confidence in his own leg, why would I have confidence in his own leg? Risky. So let's keep our eye on that one. Let's put it this way. I like that they play each other because if you don't feel good about Achan, it's not like, oh, they're playing in a different time window. You'll be able to swap them out and no harm, no foul. So if you let's put it this way, Case, from what you just told me, I'd be okay starting McLaurin as the insurance policy. Let's not take a zero. I prefer to start Achan. I've let that be known. But if there's any doubt in your mind, maybe taking the safer play is a way to go. Well, between McLaurin and Garrett Wilson, I think I'd lean McLaurin just because I trust Sam Howell a little bit more. And given that they're both wide receiver ones, they're both going to get targeted a similar amount of times. But the Falcons are a good defense. They're good in the secondary. Dolphins are as well. I'm not going to say they don't have two good corners. So I'd go McLaurin just because I trust the Washington Commanders offense overall, especially the passing game. They've done a good job at times this year. So I just trust that a little bit more. You're asking me to trust the Jets offense or the Commanders? I'll take the Commanders on that one. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for the question and joining the show. If you want to join the show, feel free. All about it. McCaffrey, I'd go Achan over Hollywood Brown if he's a healthy go. JZ017, start 2. I'd go Ridley and Downs. JZ017, I'd go Ridley and Downs. Sask Brett, I'd go Murray. Sask Brett, I'd go Murray. Jorge, I'm going to lean just slightly towards the Jaguars defense. Jaguars defense, Jorge. Daniel P., thoughts on Derrick Henry, 2 touchdowns this week? Could totally happen. Daniel P., I could totally see that happening. Derrick Henry, I had him on an anytime touchdown last week. He got 2. I have him on an anytime touchdown this week. He absolutely could get 2, Daniel. Would not be shocked. Angelo, I do think Olave will play this week. Again, if you guys want any of my bets, DM me on Instagram, guys. DM me on Instagram, just like Anthony did. Anthony's like, hey, can I get those bets on the SHARPZ app? Anthony, thank you for DMing me on Instagram. I just sent you the link and the referral code so you can get every bet that I make every day. Thanks for DMing me, Anthony Scarpa. Anthony Scarpa, thanks so much for hitting me up. You'll see every bet that I make for today, this weekend, all time. Every bet that I make automatically aggregates to the SHARPZ app. If you guys want to follow every bet that I make, maybe you tail it, maybe you fade it, that's up to you. But if you want to see every bet that I put out there every day, DM me on Instagram. We do our research the entirety of the day to look up the best trends, data, and analytics for fantasy, DFS, and sports betting advice. Obviously, we put down a lot of bets around it. If you want to tail us, the best way to do so is to check out our picks on the SHARPZ app. Make sure you DM us to get every bet that we make every single day. Guys, when we hit 10,000 likes, I'm going to be giving out my SHARPZ play of the day. That's my favorite bet of the day. Let's get Mo Beezy up here. Mo Beezy. What's up, Mo? How you living?
How you doing, man? Yeah, just almost playoff time. Got some intriguing matchups, man. You think Keenan Allen's gonna give it a go this week?
So, I'm a little bit nervous. I think he will, but I'm nervous because this is the kind of game that could get out of hand. So even if he starts, the question is, does he finish? They don't really need him probably at some point in the game. I'm gonna say that yes, he's gonna play because the Chargers are desperate for a must-win. But I am a little bit worried that like at a certain point, Brandon Staley goes, okay, we're up by like 14, 17. We don't need him anymore and might pull him. Hopefully by that time, though, he has a touchdown and a couple catches.
Okay, because I have Diggs on the bye, and then my other backups are Thielen and Noah Brown from the
See, I love Thielen this week. He's got a great matchup. So if you did start Thielen, I'd be okay with it. Obviously, if they say Keenan Allen's healthy enough to go, start Keenan Allen. Like, he gets too many targets to not start him. But if for any reason he is, like a game time, we don't know, maybe he's only going to play half the game decision, or he's completely out, you absolutely could go Thielen.
Okay, and then for the flex, would you put in Thielen or Najee Harris this week?
So, interesting. I actually think Thielen and Najee have the better matchups. So if you actually sat Keenan Allen and started Thielen and Najee, you probably could get away with it. Do I feel great about that? No, because benching Keenan Allen doesn't feel good any week. But the matchup that Thielen has and the matchup that Najee have are both really favorable. So you might be able to steal a win with those two, kind of lesser names put in there. Again, I'd hold out hope for Keenan Allen, but you don't have a bad insurance policy there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then my last question is, for the playoffs, do you like the Falcons defense more, or do you like, who's my other defense? Steelers for the next couple weeks?
I'm going to admit I haven't really looked at the down the stretch matchup, so I'm going to look at it really quick. Steelers have Cardinals this week, Patriots, Colts, Bengals, and Seahawks before they play the Ravens the last week of the season. Ravens last week of the season is irrelevant given the playoff schedule. So the teams the Steelers play when you're going to need them are the Cardinals, Patriots, Colts, and Bengals. If I just put that to you and said those are the 4 teams they're going to play, and the Seahawks, and I said those are the 5 teams, I bet you go, there probably isn't a collection of teams that are more favorable in my, I haven't even looked at what the, you said the Jaguars?
My defense is at the Falcons.
Oh, Falcons, right. But I just said I said to you Cardinals, Patriots, Colts, Bengals, and Seahawks. Man, kind of some dog poop teams right there. So we certainly like the Steelers down the stretch. Now let's flip it over to the other side. The Falcons play the Jets this week, dog poop. Buccaneers, dog poop. I mean, relatively. Panthers, bad. Colts, bad. Wow, these are 2 dog shit schedules rest of year. Wow, that's a great question. I'd keep both of them, man. Those are 2. In terms of playoff defenses, those are 2 of the better playoff defenses you could own, given the matchups they have. I'd hold on to them, man. I think you got 2 great sleeper defenses right there.
Absolutely. So if I win this week, then I submit my bye week. So hopefully I can get it done.
Love it, Mo. Appreciate you joining the show and really appreciate you watching.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You as well. Have a great night. Guys, we're going to keep on bringing people on, so let's get to Aaron. Aaron, what's good? If you've been waiting on hold, don't worry. We'll continue to get to you. Just bringing on some people for the show, having some fun. Aaron, what's good? Sure. I like Rashee Rice this week. He doesn't have a great matchup if Jair Alexander's healthy, but the one thing I would say is Rashee Rice has proven he's a wide receiver 1 right now for the Kansas City Chiefs. So if Tank Dell doesn't play, I would prefer probably Dell, but I'd go Rice in his stead if he doesn't play. Go ahead, Aaron. In the SEC Championship? Sorry, which one? I have to admit, I haven't looked at that game at all, and I don't want to give you a bad, indication in either way. If you could, DM me on Instagram what the matchup is, and I'll go look at it after the show and hit you back up, and that way I can look into the stats, because I would hate to give you an indication without actually having good information to provide you with. You as well, Aaron. Have a great one. Appreciate you watching the show. Let's get to more questions. Proud Poppy, I know you've been on hold. Proud Poppy. By the way, if you are waiting on hold, don't worry. We'll get to all of you guys. Proud Poppy, what's happening, man?
What's up, man? How you doing? Appreciate you taking my call.
Oh, of course. What's good?
So, I lost Burrow and Andrews the same night, man.
Brutal. Brutal. I'm so sorry.
I'm stuck in the middle at 6-6 in a 10-man league with 2 quarterbacks and half PPR.
Wow.
And so Dale's questionable. McBride's questionable. The only quarterbacks I have Goff and I have Riddler and I have Joe Flacco on the bench.
Wow. I hope your kids aren't in the room, because you just said something that should be bleeped on TV. Just disgusting. That said, I'd go Goff out of that group. He's the only one that I have any faith in. So Goff would be the quarterback out of that group. And yeah, he doesn't have a good matchup, but if nothing else, I trust him and the talent around him a lot more than the other options. Proud Poppy, you got me there? I'd start Ritter. I'd start Desmond Ritter. No worries. Hey, I'm sure his mama calls him Riddler. That said, I'd go Desmond Ridder. Here's the reason why. One, Joe Flacco is literally coming off the bench. Like, there is no adequate comparison. This is literally like calling a dude from the stands to now play quarterback. Like, I can't trust that given the, I can't trust it. The other side is Desmond Ridder. I don't know. I don't think the stat still holds because I think he ultimately did lose at home. But there was a stretch there, like he was undefeated at home in college and the NFL. I think he's lost maybe once or twice at home. Here's the point. When Desmond Ridder has some home cooking, he is a better quarterback. When he goes on the road, he turns into a pumpkin. So given the game this week is in Atlanta, no, it's in New York. Never mind. Here I was trying to build up the hype around that one. Nope. I was like, oh yeah, he's at least in Atlanta. No, even that sucks. Man, I'm going to still say Desmond Ridder. I'm still going to say Desmond Ridder. It's just, it's dog poop. I got to admit, Proud Poppy, like these are awful. I'm so sorry. I wish I could be inspiring. You heard I was even trying to come up with something like, oh, at least he had like a good win-loss record at home. He's not even at home anymore. So,
I mean, the only other quarterback on the waiver wire in our group is Bryce Young.
Who actually has a decent matchup. Of all the players you've mentioned, actually, he's got the most favorable matchup. The Buccaneers' pass defense is not good. So, do I like that? No, but if you said purely off of matchup, purely off of the opponent they'll be facing, Bryce Young's the best play. Now, do I trust that enough? Maybe over Joe Flacco. The Desmond Ridder, man, that's a coin flip. Like, I'm sorry that I'm pulling that out of my butt fumble. But Bryce Young's got the best matchup, and you know what? Maybe you just take a gamble, man. Maybe you just take a chance.
I appreciate that, man. And I do have Dell in my flex, but I'm waiting to see what the status if that changes. If not, I actually do have Thielen on the bench.
Now, I probably don't like doubling up on Thielen and Bryce Young. I would say I probably am not crazy about that because now you're really loaded on that Panthers offense, and like that's a bit doubling down on a high risk gamble I don't love. So maybe that encourages you to start Desmond Ridder, but to throw in Thielen if you need it. But maybe you want to pick up Bryce Young just to have him as an option.
Yeah, sounds good, man. I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you watching the show. Thanks for being a loyal viewer.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Guys, we have breaking news out of the NBA. Joel Embiid is not playing tonight. Joel Embiid is not playing tonight. He is out. He has an illness, second straight game. He'll be missing. Joel Embiid is out for tonight's big matchup with the Celtics 76ers game. Let's go to C. Moyer 18. C. Moyer 18, you're going to be the next person up on the show. Let's get your question, C. Moyer.
There's 2 in his pocket, 3 in their pockets.
C. Moyer 18, you with us?
Plus 25 is 30.
Okay, but
We're getting some homework questions from C. Moyer 18.
you?
There's no other dollar.
C. Moyer, we're going to hang up in a second.
A $10 bill for a $30 room.
C. Moyer? Oh, oops, we lost you. We'll get him back on the air if we can. Ethan, should I trade Jamar Chase and Njoku for Kelsey and Waddle or Debo? If you could get Kelsey and Debo, I'd do it immediately, Ethan. Do it immediately. Carson, hope he loves you too. Sawyer, C. Moyer, ask T. Higgins or Jaden Reed. Sawyer, I'd go Jaden Reed. Sawyer, I'd go Jaden Reed. Nate, we still rocking Purdy over Mahomes. For the moment, we still are, yes. Sarah, Chargers defense or Atlanta Falcons defense? I'll go with the Chargers just barely, Sarah. Jessica Gray, would you want to have Barkley or JT heading into the playoffs? I'd rather have Barkley. He's healthy. JT's not. Nick Dowling, pick up a tight end off the waiver wire. It'd be Jawan Johnson. Nick Dowling, it'd be Jawan Johnson. Daniel P., not sure if I missed your answer. Daniel P., I'd go Sutton. If Olave can't play, I would go Sutton. Lethal Jake, flex any of these over Godwin. If I were to start anybody, it might be Jaden Reed or Dobbs. But frankly, I think I like Godwin over the group. So it'd be Reed or Dobbs. Stroud or Mahomes? I'll lean slightly towards Stroud. C. Ferg, if Etienne is out, should I start Swift or Javante? I'd probably start Swift. I'd probably start Swift. User 8875, I'd go Ridley. Franick, I'd go Kyler over Howell. Kyler over Howell. User 8875, I'd go Ridley over Chase. If any of you guys want to join the show, we've had a few guests come on so far. Make sure you hit us up. More than happy to let some guests come on and ask their question live on the air. Appreciate you guys being with us. If you guys want any of our advice, all you have to do is hit me up. Oh my God. Aaron was asking about the Evansville Aces against Northern Iowa. I have to admit, Aaron, I freaking love you, dude. Anyone who's asking about that game is like, you must be a very loyal fan of one of those two teams or just a really passionate sports bettor. I'm going to answer you after the show. We'll get to your question after the show, but I definitely will answer that because that is like, come on, how do you not love someone who's asking a question that in depth? If you guys do want all of my bets every single day, make sure you DM me on Instagram, ButtFumble Sports on Instagram. Hit me up and I will give you all of my picks. All you have to do is DM me on Instagram. That's ButtFumble Sports on Instagram. Promised you guys I would give out my SHARPZ play of the day. My SHARPZ play of the day once we hit 10,000 likes. This is my favorite bet of the day, regardless of the sport, regardless of the type of bet. This is my favorite bet of the day. I am taking the Mavericks on the money line, guys. Mavericks on the money line. That will be my SHARPZ play of the day. Appreciate all those who have supported the show, all those who watch. This is my favorite bet of the day. Mavericks on the money line. If you want every bet that I make every day, DM me on Instagram, guys. DM me on Instagram to get every bet that I make, regardless of the sport, regardless of the type of bet. So make sure you hit me up. I'll give you the link and the referral code to the SHARPZ app so you never miss a pick. You never miss any of my bets. Just DM me, DM ButtFumble Sports on Instagram. That's ButtFumble Sports on Instagram. Hit us up. We'll give you that link and referral code, and that way you never miss a pick of ours. Cam on sticks, Swift or Williams. I've been back and forth on this. I'll go back and I'll say Williams. So if I gave out Swift earlier, I'd go Williams. Jake Piazza, I'd go Russell Wilson. Jake Piazza, I'll go Russell Wilson just barely. Jonah, start two. Wilson, Rice, Johnson, or Hollywood Brown. Jonah, I'd go Rice, and I'd go Johnson if he plays. If he doesn't, Hollywood Brown. Sawyer, I'd go Najee. Sawyer, I'd go Najee. Angel MP, should I pick up Elijah Moore or Jerry Jeudy? Douglas is out. I'd go Jerry Jeudy. I'd go Jerry Jeudy if Douglas is out. J Dubs, nervous to sit Nico. If I do, I have Olave, Downs, and Rice. Man, I like the squad. If you do sit them, I like who you have. If you took out Achan and you put in Nico Collins, that'd be fine too. But if any of you guys want to ask your question live on the show, feel free to hit me up as a guest. We'll get you on. We've been answering questions now for about an hour and 20 minutes. More than happy to stay on. Love having you guys join the show. Brian Wise, pick one. I'd go Mostert. Brian Wise, I'd go Mostert. High Road, I'd go Jalen Warren. High Road, Jalen Warren. Dean Wright, two. I'd go Rice, and I'll lean for the moment towards McLaurin. Pat, I'd go Pittman. Pat, I'd go Pittman. Dwayne Midtune, pick three. Mostert, Singletary, and Achan. Mostert, Singletary, and Achan. Majomes, I think OBJ is worth a pickup. Yep, I think he is. Daha, what's up, man? Appreciate your help. Got to start two in a must-win week. I'd start Downs and I'd start Montgomery. Very close, but I'll start Downs and Montgomery, though Montgomery has a tough matchup. Any of you guys want to join the show as a guest? Hit us up. We'll let you come on. Owen, pick for the flex. I'd go Kirk. Yeah, Owen, I'd go Kirk. Caleb, start three. Ayuk, Debo, and Kirk. Caleb, Ayuk, Debo, and Kirk would be the three. Jack, start one. I'd start Jalen Warren, Jack. Jalen Warren. Daha, all you have to do is come on TikTok. Come on TikTok. I think you have to have 1,000 followers, though. That's what we found out. Our college football analyst was supposed to join the show, but we need to get him some more followers. So Damian Skyberg, rest of season. I'd probably go Chris Godwin, rest of season. Ollie, I'd go Minshew and Moss. Ollie, Minshew, and Moss. Azan, pick 2. I'd go Warren and Waddle. Warren and Waddle. Brock Ford, you think Breece Hall is playing this week? I don't know yet. Haven't heard good word yet. Kai, KY, Najee over Swift. Yep, Najee over Swift because of the matchup. Exactly. Trip 3, I don't think Schultz is going to play. I'm kind of worried about that one. Katie, sit 1. Katie, I'd sit Kyron Williams. Katie, I'd sit Kyron Williams. Any of you guys want to come on as a guest, hit us up. More than happy to have a guest join the show. Darius, I'd go Freiermuth. Darius, I'd go Freiermuth. Wow. 22 times. Damn. E. Moore, I'd go Jalen Warren. E. Moore, I'd go Jalen Warren. James McCray, I'd go Pacheco. James McCray, I'd go Pacheco. Goofy Gibb, should I do Embiid, Oubre for Edwards, Bridges, and Capella? Great question. The answer is yes, Goofy Gibb. I would do that trade. Anthony Edwards, a lot of upside value there. And Bridges, I would do the trade, Goofy Gibb, in a fantasy basketball league. Jack, I'd go CJ Stroud, Jack. Technician, I'd go Trevor Lawrence. Technician 117, I'd go Trevor Lawrence. Kevin Bauer, I'd go Najee Harris. Kevin Bauer, Najee Harris. Jack, I'd go Stroud. No need to spam, guys. No need to spam. Nate, I'd go Singletary. Nate, I'd go Singletary. Scott Hoffman, I'd go Derrick Henry. Scott Hoffman, Derrick Henry, just barely. Anti-kills, I'd go Brock Purdy. Anti-kills, I'd go Brock Purdy. Jake Piazza, I'd go Ramondre Stevenson. Jake Piazza, Ramondre Stevenson. By the way, I'm a big fan of your Uncle Mike. Mahomes, I'd go Hurts. Mahomes, I'd go Jalen Hurts. If you're watching on TikTok or watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, make sure you follow us. Make sure you subscribe. We are live every single day. There is not one day of 2023 that we haven't been live or won't be live. We are live every single day answering your fantasy questions, your sports betting questions, obviously your DFS and all your research questions. We rant about sports. We're here for everything that you guys need every single day to get the most out of your sports viewing experience. So if you have not done so already, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you become a member of this amazing community today. Lethal Jake, I'm playing against Cook, so I bet anytime touchdown. Cash money. Let's go, Lethal Jake. Money in the bank. That money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. 69 Kevo. I'd go Henry just barely over Warren. I like them both, 69 Kevo, but I'll go with Henry just barely over Warren. Davis Peter, I'd go Hollywood Brown. Davis Peter, I'd go Hollywood Brown. Again, if you guys want every bet that I make every day, DM me on Instagram. All of my bets are for free on the SHARPZ app. Just DM me on Instagram. Jake Piazza, I'm sure you have. Daha, must win, pick up. I'd go Will Levis. Daha, I'd go Will Levis. Anti-kills, I'd go Rashad White. I'd go Rashad White for sure. Yep, that's right. Logan, rather have JT or Barkley rest of season? I'd rather have Barkley. 69 Kevo, I'd go Warren over Deontay. Food Truck Kid, live access required. Yeah, what we're finding is you may have to have at least 1,000 followers. So right now, the people who can go live are C. Moyer, RJ Wright, James McCray, Ranger, Warren Heckler, Saul, Cody Duet, Lethal Jake, Duffelbag, Jay Morris, Cod, Montana, Randy Stacy, Chris Gould, Davis Peter, 98, 1Gs, Maj, Leo, Ziggy, Dave, and Bedito. Derek B, do you have someone working with you? Derek B, nope, it's just me right now. If you guys want to join the Butt Fumble Sports team, we're more than happy. We do have members of the company other than me, but it's just me working right now. Jack, start one. I'd go Collins, I think, for the moment. Chucky, I'd go Mostert. David, pick up Gibson or Pierce to replace Aaron Jones. I'd go with Pierce. I'd go Pierce. Better matchup. Angel MP, I'd go Judy. Angel MP, I'd go Judy. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. If you guys don't have access to all of my picks just yet, DM me on Instagram, Butt Sports on Instagram, just like Tyler did. Tyler Jars just DM'd me on Instagram. He's going to get a link and a referral code to every bet that I make every day. So if you haven't seen every bet that I made for the NFL this weekend, for the NBA or NHL tonight, if you want access to every bet that I make for free, make sure you DM me on Instagram. That's Butt Sports on Instagram. Make sure you DM me, and that way you never miss a pick. Probably another 5 minutes left of the show. If Hollywood Brown is out, do I go Ford or D-Hop? I'd go D-Hop. D-Hop over Ford. Jake Schneider, I'd go D-Hop. Oh, sit one, sorry. Jake, I'd probably sit Amari Cooper. Alex Steffen, I'd go Kyler. Alex Steffen, I'll go Kyler. Emmanuel Perez, Rate, Hurts, Kamara, Bijan, Evans, Pittman, McBride, Waddle, McManus, and the Chargers defense. Emmanuel Perez, big thumbs up. I like it. Corn Dog, I'd go Dell. Just make sure he's healthy, but I'd go Dell if he is healthy. Max, I'd go Pollard rest of season. Cody Duet, Achan is available. Do I pick him up and drop Mixon? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Dustin K, I'd go Purdy. Dustin K, I'd go Purdy. Food Truck Dad, thanks so much for subscribing, Food Truck Dad. Food Truck Dad, you will be very happy to know that we have a subscriber-only show tonight. A show exclusively for subscribers. That show will be at around 10:30 tonight. So for all of those who want very personal attention for their bets, their fantasy team, subscriber-only show tonight. That way we don't have to answer everybody's question. We'll just focus on yours. Jake, I'd go Ridley. Jake, I'd go Ridley. 69 Kevo, I'd go Dell. Bill Robinson, hey buddy, hope you're having a great day. Bill Robinson, I'd go Goff. I'd go Goff. You can do multi-guest if you're a subscriber. Jay Morris, very cool, Jay Morris, I like it. Jay Morris, you're more than welcome to come on the show. If anybody wants to come on and join the conversation for a few minutes, more than happy to have you guys join. Ryan, I'd go with Warren. Ryan Morford, I'd go with Warren. Jake, I'd go Kyler over Baker. Jake, Kyler over Baker. Joker, pick two. I'd go Debo and Ayuk. I'd double down on that 49ers passing game. Debo and Ayuk. I understand that it's going to be raining, but I trust the matchup against the Eagles. Very favorable. Michael, I'm going to go Garrett Wilson just barely. Mike Guzman, I'd go Nico Collins. Nolan, I'd go Rashee Rice. Ivan, I'd go McBride if healthy. Garrett, I'd go Henry over Swift. Garrett, Henry over Swift. Sean S., Bryce or Baker this week. I think I'd go Baker Mayfield. Very close, but I'll go Baker barely. Fatty to Hattie, need two. I'd go Everett and I'd go Jordan. Everett and Jordan. Yeah, I'd go Everett and Jordan. David, should I drop Edwards and Johnson for Pierce? I'd hold on to Edwards. I don't like giving up Edwards right now. Appreciate you guys being with us. Kristen, thanks so much for the rose. Appreciate you guys supporting the show the way you do. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday night. We are going to be live later tonight for a subscriber-only show. Subscriber-only show later tonight. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you do not miss when we come on live later this evening. Again, that show is going to be around 10:30, probably closer to 10:15. So make sure you guys subscribe. That way you do not miss that subscriber-only show later tonight. Additionally, if you guys want all of my bets, just like Dave just hit me up on Instagram. Dave, you just got every pick I make. What about Anthony Blake? Anthony Blake, I can't forget you. Here you go, Anthony Blake. A link and a referral code to every bet that I make. So all you have to do is DM Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. That's Butt Fumble Sports. Just DM me on Instagram. We're going to give you a link and a referral code so you get every bet that I make every single day for free. You don't have to pay a dime. You get every bet that I make. All you have to do, DM Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram, link referral code. That way you get every pick that I make, regardless of the sport, the type of bet. Every day they'll all be there. Hope you guys love the show. I will be live later tonight for our subscriber-only show, and we do have a show tomorrow at 10 a.m., everybody. So our regular show is at 10 a.m. tomorrow. If I missed your question, I'm sorry. We've been live for about an hour and a half. I'm going to jump off and get some dinner now. If I missed you guys, don't worry. We'll be live later tonight. We'll be live tomorrow. So we will get to your questions. Really appreciate you saying it was a great show, Cody. Really appreciate all of you guys joining us. Tried some new things in the show tonight. Tried some guests on the show. 666 Beast Mode. See you later tonight for our subscriber-only show. I know you'll be joining because you've resubscribed. Great to have you with us for another month. We'll make sure that we give out a lot of good advice in tonight's show. As always, I am so grateful for the support that you guys show us. I hope you guys stay healthy. I hope you stay safe. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys at 10:15 tonight, okay, everybody? 10:15 tonight. I'll see you then. Until then, have a great night, everybody. Goodbye.